And the faceoff will be to his right. 17 minutes, 14 seconds to go. First period, no score. Grattan at center. On the faceoff for the Raiders in the corner. Tony Yob goes after it. Grattan tried to center it in front. They jam it up. And O'Hagan will take it back at the Oshawa net. Swing it up on the left side. In over the line. Dump behind the net. Gauthier just leaves it there. It's chopped around into the corner. Comes back on the right point for O'Hagan. O'Hagan trying to move in front. Took a shot that was blocked. Still bouncing around. Craigwell can't get to it. He's taken into the boards. And Shayak behind the Kingston net will start out for the Raiders. Up across his own line at center comes Shayak. He'll carry it in over the line. Gets around O'Hagan, who fell down. Shayak right behind the Oshawa net. Still has possession. He'll drop it back at the point for Kavanaugh. Takes a shot, goes wide. Rebound is controlled by Kevin Meem. Comes back in the point, kept in. And on the other side, it's Meem picking it up for the Generals. Meem feeds it down through the middle. In over the line as he tried to send Craigwell away. Craigwell has spun around, tried to give it back to Meem in the corner with it. Meem holds on to it. Still has possession. They jam up in the corner. Meem comes out of there with it again. Written out of the play. The Generals with some pressure, and finally the Raiders will just chop it to center. They want to make some changes. And John Paul Davis swings it up on the right side. And there to pick it up, it's Kevin Meem of the Generals. Back to Davis. He'll dump it in, then he'll head to the bench. And there's a race for it. Puck goes behind the net. Weaver took his man out of the play. And on the right side, Joey Simon doesn't get it out. Kept in at the point by Kravich. And Weaver, good rushing defenseman, will clear it up on the left side for Mark Major. Major gets it back on the other side. This will be a delayed offside. Finally whistled down. We played exactly 5 minutes in the opening period, and we're still scoreless. Checking our Gillette Duracell scoreboard around the OHL last night. The Generals win in Kingston 5-3. The Falls drop a 6-5 decision to the Rangers in Kitchener. London edges the Guelph Baiters 2-1. The Marlies lose in Ottawa 6-3 to the 67s. Sudbury over the Spitfires 7-4. The Bay edges the Sioux 5-4. And the 67s last night snap a 7-game losing streak. You know, they hadn't won a game since we got in there.
You know that 6,800 people in Kitchener last night for that game.
I understand, too, the Thunder had a 4-1 lead and let it get away from them. That was a big game for first place in the Ems division.
Let me tell you, there have been some good crowds this year.
Puck bouncing around at center on the right side. A pass he intended for Mike Craig didn't work. And back it goes inside the Oshawa line. Butt will stop it. He's being watched on the wing by McKillop. And it comes out to center where the Raiders pick it up and shoot it right back in again. Back to pick it up, it's Kravich. Kravich throws it around on the other side. And up on the wing comes Brian Hunt. Hunt down over the line, has Craig on the right, puts on the brakes, tried to feed it back across. Craig couldn't come up with it. Bouncing back at center, and the Raiders have it. They'll drive it in as Wayne Doucette chops it into the Oshawa zone. No score as we approach the 6-minute mark of this opening period. Here's Donaldson down through the middle, gets a pass ahead to Basillo. Basillo comes down. He's got Hunt trailing. Tried to throw it across for Craig. Too well covered, and Doucette has it. Doucette has lost a glove. And the puck bouncing around at center. Craig throws it back to his defenseman at the Oshawa blue line. The Generals will make some changes. And O'Hagan will drive it back into the Kingston zone, and the Generals will make some changes. On the left side for Doucette. Doucette's pass. It comes back on the other side for Joey Simon. Simon heads to the net, tried to get it in front, was covered by Davis. And there's a collision in the corner. Up on the right side, the Generals will clear it out at center. Here's a chance for Brent Grieve. Grieve comes down over the Kingston line, chops it off into the corner. They center it in front, and it's tipped away by the Raiders. And they'll come back with it on the left wing at center. Too far. And Davis back in his own zone being chased. The puck comes back at center. And here's a chance for the Generals as Meem comes down. It's a 3-on-2. Meem comes down, waits, winds up, takes a shot, and scores. What a play by Meem as he put the backhander through Sean Gauthier. And I'll tell you, there's our potential Lajee Whitnauer play of the game.
I talk about it. Look at he uses those guys. He's got, first of all, he beats the defenseman going away. Now watch, he's got his head up, he's looking. And he uses Fraser coming in, the goalie's got, and then he puts it in the backhand between the legs. That's a play.
That's his 41st goal of the year.
I tell you, that's a big-time play, handling the puck and so forth. That's definitely a candidate for the Lajee Whitnauer I mean, that's better than I've done.
Getting your skates on would be better than you've done.
Speaking of eating cake, I noticed too we had a nice meal from the Jade Garden, one of the best Chinese food restaurants in maybe the world.
Well, I'll tell you, the crew certainly appreciated it.
And I see you. How come you went up to the table 7 times? The last 4 in a disguise.
Well, you paid for it, didn't you? Puck behind the net. What a solid hit behind the Kingston net. Up on the left wing, here's Major, can't get loose. He comes down over the line, and it's tipped back out at center by the Generals. There's a race for it. Here's a chance for Oshawa coming in, and a good play by Barahusky to get back and cover up. It's centered in front again. A shot is tipped in front. There's a shot stopped by Gauthier. And the rebound controlled by the Raiders at their own line. Up on the right side comes Bodnarchuk, trying to get around the defense. Bodnarchuk, a couple of nice moves, and there to cover up Scott Mahoney. Mahoney for the Generals. Beats it over for Skaldy. Skaldy will leave it for his defenseman Donaldson. Back to Skaldy. Skaldy comes down over the line. Couple of pretty moves, and he's dumped. And back on the other side come the Raiders. They'll just flip it in on the right side. Behind the Oshawa net it goes. There's a collision in the corner as these two teams are laying the body on each other. They jam it up in the corner, and referee Terry Koharski will blow the play dead. 12:23 to go in the first period. The Generals up by 1, and we'll come right back.